What's up guys, it's Cam Ward. We're here at the Vault today and we're gonna do a custom build. Before we get started, we have to pick out our parts. So let's head over to the warehouse, grab some parts, and then we'll meet back here. All right, we made it to the warehouse. Let's move some stuff around and make some people upset and find some parts. To start, we'll start with a deck. I'm gonna do the Method deck. So I heard nobody's used it, and this is the deck that I'm riding right now. And I actually love it because of Mr. Will Judy. I lost my scooter in Spain recently, and he was nice enough to let me ride his Extra. And his Extra just happened to be a Method, which is a deck that I never thought that I would like, and I love it right now. So we'll do that to start. I know what I'm gonna do for a bar. I wanted to do an Affinity to support my boys John and Chris, the A1 since day one, but they're out of stock because they sell so many of them. I'm gonna go with a bar that I also ride when I'm not riding like Affinities or a Century, and that would be the Tenacity by Ethic, which is like a great bar if you don't like riding titanium but want a light bar that feels kind of like titanium. So we'll grab one of these in black. So we got a deck, we got a bar, now we need a fork. So we got forks, we got options. I know what fork I'm gonna do, I already know. We're gonna do the Alex Blom Prey fork. This just came out. I'm lucky I get to do this. Best believe I gotta support the boy. So we're putting that in there. And then we gotta do some wheels. I would normally do a Zach Rowan or a Will Judy wheel, but both of them are gonna be using their wheels. So we'll shake it up a little bit. I'll go with the River. Oh no, I almost dropped the fork. But we'll go with the River wheel and we'll go with the Hail Mary because I love Andrew and I love Hail Mary. And yeah, let's support. And this is his cute little dog on here, Pablo. I'm gonna set this right here. Perfect. We're gonna go with the coolest SES I've ever seen, the Native Orca. We'll do it in black. So we got one of these. These are beautiful. Now I need a headset and then some grip tape and grips, right? And then we're good. So we'll grab some grips. Let's do some signature, gotta support the homies, some Brock Rayford. These are also amazing grips that come with some of the best bar ends ever. If you don't like running metal bar ends, these are great and they last forever. And I run these on the bike and yeah, they're great. And then now we will do headset. So for a headset, I'll do the new Ethic headset, the Osmo with the silicone cap, but with a special little marbly color in it. There should be one in here. Since we got that little bit of blue in there with the wheels, we could tie it in with this little bit of blue. And this is really cool, and I don't think anybody's used this on a custom build since these like just came out, but silicone cap, and it's got a little bit of blue like marble in it, so not too much color, not too loud, but just enough. Pretty much everything besides grip tape. You already know I have to support Addy and the boys at Hella Grip, so I'll be getting a sheet of Hella Grip. It's just which one now. All right, we got Antoine's in there, we got Brian in here. What else we got? Oh, my old arch nemesis, Dan Barrett. That's the one we're doing. All right, I think we got everything we need for a scooter. So we got wheels to put on the deck, and a headset to put with the fork, a clamp, this. Yeah, we're good, we got everything. So let's head back to the studio and build this bad mama jamma. All right guys, we're back from the warehouse. I don't think I pissed anybody off too much in there with moving stuff around. So we got our parts here and we're gonna go over them, then we're gonna build it. So let's start up front. We got the Dan Barrett Sig Grip. Great guy, great company, great grip tape. Then after that, we got the Native Orca SES that I previously mentioned. And then we got our River Rapid Hail Mary print-in Sig wheels. And other than that, we got the new Tilt Osmo.
Tilt.
Oh yeah, sorry, this isn't a Tilt at all. This is an Ethic. We got a new Ethic headset, and it's got this sweet silicone cap that's blue and marbly. And then we got the Sig grips from Brock for Odyssey, which are some of the comfiest, softest, thinnest grips out there with the amazing par ends from Odyssey as well. And then we got a very, very special person's signature fork. We got the Alex Blom signature Prey fork. Got a little smiley guy there, a little sad guy there. And then we got, on top of that, the Ethic Tenacity bar in matte black. For the deck, we're gonna use the Tilt Method deck, and it's got the dimensions underneath it in case you forget what you're riding. Now we got all of our parts, we're gonna start putting them together. Let's start with the grip tape. I'm gonna be so professional with this whole thing. Since I'm not riding this, it's not for me, it's for one of you guys to buy. I'm gonna take the brake off, do the grip tape all pretty, and then put the brake rack on, and then go from there. And just like that, the brake's off. Easy peasy, and it's adjustable. So we'll start with our grip. So it's really up to you if you want to go all the way up the head tube or not. I don't always do it. It just depends how much time you got, how lazy you feel like you are, and all that good stuff. But I think today we'll go ahead and do it just because we have the room for it. And I think the hair will cut like right into the headset, so it'll look kind of like in the bottom of the head tube area. So we'll go ahead and we'll do it my way, which is just grab your blade, kind of line it up where you know it's gonna be. So I lined up the back of it with those little welds and kind of bring it to where it's gonna sit finally. And then I put a slit in one side, a slit in the other side, and then I lay the grip tape down and cut as I go. So we're gonna do that right now. All right, so we gotta get the back lined up nice and proper. Make sure it's nice and straight. That looks good. So we'll go ahead and get that there. And then we're gonna just kind of just follow it all the way up and make sure we got it straight and there's an even gap on both sides, because if it's an even gap on both sides, we'll be much happier than if there's not. All right, go ahead and do this. And then I think there's a little roller in here too. I'm gonna use this guy. This is really cool. So I'm gonna try this. I've never tried it before. Nice. Look at that. Now that we made it up top, we can go back to those little slits that we put in here and kind of follow them all the way down. And we can kind of see, oh, okay, that's where the head tube is and where I need to cut around. So bring that down all the way to here. And I should be able to kind of just put it down like so. And we'll do that on the other side. It's like that little slit I made. Just follow it down. Make sure it's nice and straight. And then now we can go around and just cut out around the weld so we can see when our deck's cracked and prevent us from dying. I'm just gonna bring the blade around here and cut it. Did we get through it? We got through it. And then we go around here, kind of see where it is. We just kind of follow the line of where the deck is flat all the way around to the front, like that. And then we'll do that on this side, then we're good to move on. I decided to pick this deck because there's like a bunch of controversy and like opinion about like, oh, do you ride like a street scooter or like this is my park scooter? And I even see a lot of like pro riders will have different setups for whatever they're riding. I like to be like more versatile and have one scooter to do everything and just be like, no, I'm a scooter rider, I ride everything, you know? And this deck is dimensions that I normally don't run. I usually run a longer deck, a wider deck, and this deck, it's not the longest deck, but the head tube's a little bit steeper, so it really helps with having an 84-degree head tube. Having it 22.2 instead of like 23 gives you more room for whips and stuff like that, and it has a really, really good balance point. So if you haven't tried one of these decks, I highly recommend it. Now we're gonna cut out this drop out in the back. And we're good. So now we just gotta find that little hole, and then we'll cut this out as well. All we need to do is make sure that our bolts sit in here flat, and once you tighten the bolts, it'll push the grip tape down enough to where it won't affect it at all. So we're gonna go ahead and get the brake back in here now. Slide that little guy in here, this guy in, that guy. I won't do it too tight because we gotta get the other one in. This guy in here, make sure you're not cross-threading it. So I always start with doing it with my fingers, and then go from there, all right? Now we can tighten up our brake. And now our brake is good. Now we can move on. I think we'll do the back wheel first. So we'll go ahead and throw the back wheel on here. They got tread pattern on one side, but not on the other. So it's up to you which way you want to do it. I ride regular, so I guess I'll do one on each side. So it doesn't matter which way I'm riding, you'll still see the performance urethane USA made. Pop that spacer out. Another cool thing about this tilt deck is, along with a lot of the other decks now, they're starting to catch on to basically integrating the axle nut into the deck so you don't have to carry, you know, all ratchet around. You can just carry 1/6 mil and you're good. So we'll go ahead and slide our little spacer in on this side. We got it almost lined up now. There we go. And just like that, our deck is almost a scooter. Now we'll move on to the front. We will, of course, do this the only way that makes sense. Get the fork, take off the old bolt up top. It's gonna be our compression. Back when I started, this is like light years ahead. All we had was star nuts and ICS, and it was horrible. We had to carry Allen wrenches that were like this long just to try and get a little nut in here. And this is so nice, so easy. Integrated crown race. So we just put the bearing on here, slide it up into the deck. Since the deck has an integrated headset, there's nothing else to do. All you do is that. Pop our bearing in here, up top, fits in there perfect. And then we put our little headset cap, which also has the little like spacer or whatever you'd call it. It keeps your headset aligned. Slide that down in there, done. So now all we gotta do is put our SCS on and our compression is done. What do you know? It fits like a glove. You got just enough space. All right, so we did have to put a compression ring on the bottom of this. I lied. So just, if you're gonna run one of these on a tilt deck, just know that the fork will sit too low in the bottom cup for it to actually spin. Doesn't matter what you do with your compression, it won't spin because the fork is hitting the deck. So it's not hitting the bearing. Now we have a little ring in there though. Now everything spins nice and smooth, and we didn't even need to do a little spacer in here, which a lot of times you need to. So looks clean, good to go on that end. And now we'll go ahead and throw the front wheel on, and then we'll go ahead and chuck the bars on. And now we put that wheel on that way, so we'll put this one on this way. Pick that up, put her in yonder, slide our axle through, and we're off to the races. The nut back in there. Put this in here, tighten it up. All right, so now we got to put on the bars, and then we'll put the grips on after because it's just a little bit easier that way. And since these bars have a slit in the bottom of them, you're gonna have to run this insert that comes with the bar if you're running SCS. If you're running HIC, you won't need this insert because you'll actually need that slit. So let's go ahead and get these bars on here. Ooh, like it glokes. So let's go ahead and tighten up this SCS for the first time ever. Now all these bolts are very loose, so we're gonna just bring them all in snug first, and then we're gonna tighten them in a pattern. All right, so now we got that one in there. Now we're gonna go to the bottom, do about half a turn. We'll go second one to the top, do about half a turn, and go back down one, half a turn, go up, then we're just gonna keep doing that. All right, so there's that. We got the scooter almost done. It's looking pretty sweet, actually. I'm really hyped on it. I just gotta get the grips on there now. We have the luxury of an air compressor here, so we're gonna use it. We're gonna do the Odyssey logos like on the grip. We'll do them on the outside. And then we're good there. All right, now we got our grips on, and now for the last step, we got bar ends. All right, now we're gonna put our bar ends in, and if you have one of these Vault tools, it's got every size you need for your whole scooter, including the bar ends and the brake. They're the same size, so that's pretty cool. Bar ends are totally optional. I never run them. Some people only run them. I think that's it. I think that's our custom build, dude. All right, guys, so this is our custom build. We're done with it. Sounds way too dialed. You know what? We got a lot of good parts on here. I'm really hyped with the way it came out. It looks kind of subtle, understated. I'm not a huge fan of the like flashy colors. You don't need to match everything. You know, a little bit of blue here is like more than enough color with a little bit of blue in here. So we went with the tilt method deck, which is my personal daily driver right now, which is a A1 deck. Great for all kinds of scooter maneuvers. And then we went with the river wheels. You can never go wrong with those. Extremely fast, really durable, last a long time. And they just so happen to be a great friend's signature. So gotta throw those on there. And then holding that wheel in there, we got Alex Blom's brand new Sig Prey fork, which is really cool looking. And it's got this rad little smiley on the back of it and this guy on the front. So it's kind of cool. It's like subtle. You don't really notice it so much. And then after that, we got one of the prettiest SCSs known to mankind, the Native Orca. And then after that, we got some of these beautiful, that was a little too phallic, but little black T-bar from Ethic, the Tenacity. And then we got Brock's grips in black. So you can do blue, you can do black, you can do whatever you want. But we did black, and I'm really hyped with the way it came out. Got the little bar ends in there, and then to tie it all together, we got Dan Barrett's Sig grip tape. So you got Dan staring at you while you're trying tricks and you're screaming and just not having a good time trying to land a trick, you got Dan there smiling at you, making fun of you. This is the custom build. We're done with it. You guys know how it looks, but I know you guys all want to hear how it sounds. So let's go ahead and give it a drop test and see how dialed it is. So there you have it. It sounds exactly like we thought it would. Completely dialed because it's brand new and all the parts are great quality, good parts, so they all come together the right way and nothing works wrong. So if we know that, then we know it's gonna sound dialed, and yeah, it sounds like a brand new basketball. So that's the custom build. Thank you guys so much for watching it. Thank you to the TheVaultProScooters for having me. Thank you to Nick for always being awesome. He's the man, as well as all the homies that I got to kind of shout out and tag in here, you know? So like Dan Barrett and Hail Mary and Alex and, you know, all the buddies out there. Thank you guys so much for making scootering what it is. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, and we will see you guys in the next one.